Welcome back, everyone. Toyshiz here, and I am back yet again to give you guys another fresh look. And today we are totally checking out one of the newer sets of the Target exclusive Cartoon Ninja Turtles. This is Antrax and Scumbug, and of course, yeah, we have an infestation on our hands with Krang's evil executioner from Dimension X and Scumbug. Very cool, nonetheless. The backside, it's the usual packaging. You got the cross cells, and of course you got a nice photo of the two figures. Here is everyone involved. These are some nicely sculpted figures you got going there. These just look rad. And of course, here is the barcode as well, in case you want to scan it in store. So, I'm very excited for these. We're going to have a blast today. Sit back, relax, grab yourself a nice hot cup of coffee. This is a look at the brand new NECA Toys' Target exclusive cartoon TMnT figures, Antrax and Scumbug. And of course, here are the two figures taken out of the packaging. Now, these ones, it's not the usual pack the box sort of deal with all the different accessories. This one is more like jazz up the figures, kind of like Dirtbag and Ground Chuck were, to be honest with you. We'll start it off with Antrax. He comes with 4 different weapons. He's got 4 different hands, so it totally works. So you get a big sword right here, big spiked handled sword. You get a little dagger, which is nice. Got a little skull on the tip, either which way. Then you have a big old club. Wow, this is one of those turtle beaten clubs right there. Really nicely done. It has that cool animated aesthetic. It's very sharp. Be careful with the spikes, not gonna lie. And then you have his trusty executioner's axe. And this is straight from the cartoon when he showed up. I'll talk more about that in just a second. However, Antrax himself is pretty darn cool. I gotta give it to him all day. You look at him and you go, yeah, I guess he's an ant, right? The cartoon design, he's kind of like Jiminy Cricket. You gotta be told he's a cricket. Yeah, you kind of have to tell me that Antrax is an ant. And that goes back to the original design. NECA Toys did a great job in capturing the look of the character, right? So you got all the different details all over him. He looks great. I love that they have the patented Playmates 1 foot out, 1 foot booted. He has weapon storage on the back as well, and he has, of course, 4 hands. I would have thought this would have been real chain, right? Of course, doesn't really fit the animated aesthetic, so it's fine. I'm nitpicking. Here now, in terms of the articulation, you get a nice swivel out of the head. I like that he looks up so much. He has those red antennas and a little mustache comb kind of deal. They will swivel every which way. Just be careful on them. You don't want him taking a dive and snapping anything off. But yeah, I like that you get his head all the way up. He's got some pretty cool ab crunch. A lot of the articulation is done fantastic for a character like this. So you get the usual in the arms, the elbows, the hands. He's got waist swivel. Mine kind of gets gappy right there in the waist. You kind of have to reposition him from time to time. He's got the little sack right there on his belt. The loincloth, the legs, got double jointed knees. I wouldn't say, in all honesty, you wouldn't have to heat this guy up, but just in some cases, just go easy. Just don't go like, you know, right away. But nothing that was like overly stuck, and the feet and everything else works. So right here with the hands, I'll tell you this. You're going to have to heat the hands up to get any weapons in there. They're very stuck. But once you do, yeah, you can get him going with all 4 melee weapons. Which, hey, you know, it gets a little busy, right, with all those different accessories. So I would say utilize the weapon storage on the back next to his abdomen. See, I have been doing my ant research. So you get the big old executioner's axe and use the other 2 for the other clubs, and you can sheathe the little sword right there. So that works. But one thing I will point out, a couple of the hands are a little bit loose to hold the more heavier weapons like the axe and the melee club, so you might run into that. Only 2 out of the 4 hands, once you kind of pull them out and then push them back in, they work, but it just depends on the angle. You might get a supremely loose joint where the weapon just kind of falls around the other which way, so just be on the lookout for that. But other than that, yeah, it's a pretty solid figure. And then we have Scumbug, and the fun part about Scumbug is that he doesn't stray really much away at all from the original Playmates toy, because, yeah, that's what he looked like in the cartoon. Now, I know this Scumbug, and I know the Archie Comics Scumbug as well, which was a bit of a different take. He was a lot more Roach-like, right, as opposed to cartoon Roach. And from one of the best comic book covers of the Archie run, right, with Worm And they need to make a worm, and please make Tuxeem too when you do the whole Archie stuff. It just makes for a good looking action figure. But yeah, Scumbug and his bright colors and his thing. I know this is from one of the episodes. I cannot place it. No, actually, it's from the episode Invasion of the Turtle Snatchers. There you go. It's a fission detection device. It's very light, but it's so beautifully painted. It's like a cartoon dream. And then you have his little Scumbug weapon, right? Or his pesticide gun, whatever you want to call it. And if you look on the back, you can attach it on either side. So that works. So either hand can get this tube gun going, and then you get 2 roaches, which I totally thought were ticks at first because I hate ticks. Ugh, God. And then you have this like vinegaroon kind of thing, which is all kinds of terrible. The roaches will work with you. They're very flexible. Go easy on this little vinegaroon thing right here with the little pincers, right? You don't want anything to snap off. They're not like a soft plastic. But Scumbug himself, again, so happy, so excited to have this guy. He's one of my favorite Playmates figures from back in the day. I love his jaws articulated like the old Playmates one. He's got the bug eyes. He's got his antennas sticking out of his brains. The body, everything about this guy is just that really cool Ninja Turtle fun. He's got peg holes on the bottom of his feet. What do you want to call it? Bug feet. And I like just how everything's outlined in the black. You have that big, cool pesticide backpack that's kind of looped into his DNA now or whatever he shoots. It's weird. The wires are inside him, just FYI. But from the belts to the pants to the colors, everything, it just really screams Scumbug. So I think I did a great job, not only in recreating what they see in the cartoon, but yeah, what you get from the old Playmates line. And then, yeah, you get the typical, it's kind of like Antrex, where the articulation just works. Unlike Antrex, though, you really got to heat this guy up in the knees. The feet, the arms, elbows, head, waist, all that stuff works like a dream. I love this little piece sticking off the top of his shoe. So you take the gun and you clip it on this side. And if you watch the cartoon, it really doesn't matter which side you give it to. But this one tends to work because he has more of a trigger finger on the human side. Where he has the bug side, you can have him holding his little gizmo. And I like the extra wire. It's sticking out. It just looks cool. I like it that way. So in either sense, you can do what you like. But it's a dang good looking Scumbug. And I like you can put all the different bugs all over him every which way. They don't hook onto him. But with all the wires and grooves and everything else on this figure, you can definitely make it happen. Put the little vinegaroon thing in his gun. Who knows? You can do whatever you want. I just love the face on that guy. It's awesome. So these are 2, we'll say Antrax is big. Scumbug is big in his own way, right? More so to the side. But yeah, you have a really cool Night of the Rogues set coming. We only need one more, really, to create that group. Shredder's Insidious 6, if you will. Just, if you watch that episode, it's wackadoo. But, of course, we have Leatherhead. Just the way he announces everybody, and he's like, yeah, Scumbug, right? Everybody remembers Scumbug, the evil turtle Slash, which he's more dopey than anything. Then you have the Rat King, who just, you watch that show now, he's a wackadoo. And then, yeah, the evil executioner from Krang's Homeworld. Go figure. Chrome Dome's in there too. We nearly forgot about him. We just need Tempestra, and then we can have the full-on Night of the Rogues against the Turtles. That episode is absolutely bonkers. It makes no sense half the time, but they scale well with the Turtles. Everything looks good. Nice bright colors. It's such a fun line to collect. So very few problems here and there in terms of paint articulation, things like that. Compared to the original Playmates toys with Antrax, I'll be honest, as a kid, I did not have this, didn't know it existed. It wasn't until later that I found out about Antrax. Didn't even remember him from the show, right? So it's nice to have the old Playmates one to see how they compare. But the Antrax is not, he's not the figure that I'm like, oh, finally, but he does look good. See, that's the juxtaposition there. The real coolness of this set for me is Scumbug. Again, I've always liked the look of Scumbug. There's something about him. He's just cool. It's all in the face, the bug aspect. It's awesome. And, you know, if you were wondering, whereas Super 7 really does make the Playmates figures again, right? Everybody knows that. Scumbug here is in that fine line between, right? Playmates and the cartoon, where he looks exactly the same. Basically, the old Playmates toy maybe is a little bit more souped up, a little bit more detailed, as opposed to a more streamlined cartoon look. But if you were looking to get him, if you were just a Super 7 collector, I mean, besides the black lines and such, maybe the scale, maybe the style is a little bit off, right? Maybe noticeable. But scale-wise, I think that you would be pretty solid and good to go. So that really does wrap it up for my look at the brand new Antrax and Scumbug set by NECA Toys for their Target exclusive cartoon Ninja Turtles Antrax, right? Even when I found out about him as a kid, I was like, it's like Anthrax. And then I thought, oh, his name is Anthrax, right? No, it's Antrax. The evil ant executioner. God. Anyways, as always, I'm curious to know what you guys think. Comment below, let me know. Let's talk everything cartoon TMnT. And I'm going to leave you guys with that. As always, drink some great coffee, eat some great food, but most importantly, remember, just keep these Ninja Turtles a-coming. I'm having a blast with them. Pizza Monster's up next. And when you do, let me know what you found. I'll talk to you guys soon. Adios.